Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Flick Geeks Presents. I'm your host Johnny D, and as always fun to hear today going to a podcast called Paras.
Waiting for the mushrooms to kick in.
What mushrooms?
Whoa!
You know what? We didn't get sent mushrooms for this review. Sorry, for a little side note, the movie we're going to be watching today is Drafthouse. The movie we're going to be reviewing today, sorry, is Drafthouse Films, A Field in England.
Not A Field in London, which I accidentally keep calling.
Yeah,
but it makes sense. London is in England.
It is. But what I say about the side note is, supposedly the Drafthouse Films actually gave out actual shrooms to trip on while watching the film. If you're a film critic, they gave it out to some film critics to review, while watching the film high or on shrooms. But
on
we didn't get sent that.
I don't use anything. I don't condone the use of psychedelics to alter one's mind.
But sadly, Drafthouse Films did not give us any shrooms.
Now I'll never know why fingers are called fingers when they don't even fing.
But
wait, there they go.
But it's okay, because I think it was an awesome Texas thing only, so it's all good. It's all good. Just stop that. Anyway, so A Field in England. Okay, the movie takes place during the Civil War in the 17th century in England. A small group of deserters, free from a raging battle through an overgrown field, they're captured by an alchemist who forces the group to aid him in his search to find a hidden treasure that he believes is buried in the field. Crossing a vast mushroom circle, which provides their first meal, the group quickly descends into a chaos of arguments, fighting, and paranoia. And, as it becomes clear that the treasure might be something other than gold, they slowly become victim to the terrifying energies trapped inside the field. And this is from director Ben Wheatley, who directed Kill List and Sightseers and Down Terrace.
Way to not Michael Bay that speech.
Definitely way to not Michael Bay that fucking speech. But anyway, so yeah, we saw it. It comes out today on video on demand and in theaters on New York and LA and wherever you wanna. If you wanna go check it out, go to DraftHouseFilms.com and then check out A Field in England and check out A Field in England.
Now, do we do our actual opinions on this film?
Yeah, yes.
Now this is the part where we talk about the fields in England that goes with the boom and the bow and the how.
And here's the thing. So I'm gonna send it over to you first because before we start recording, you gave me like a and yeah,
those mushrooms kicking.
Yeah, I want to know what you thought of the movie.
I didn't really like this film.
Why didn't you not like it?
It's a little baffling. The ending's a little odd. I'm like, are they in purgatory? I was like, are they in purgatory? It is one of those psychedelic films. It's shot interesting. The dialogue, while at first you would think, oh, it's going to be a contemporary piece, so you're expecting Shakespearean English, Victorian style English, but they use a lot of modern swear words.
Mm-hmm.
So I equate it to like Deadwood,
the
HBO series Deadwood, with the brilliant Ian McShane.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen Deadwood, watch that. You can find that on DVD box set somewhere. Mm-hmm. But we're not shilling for Deadwood here.
Yeah, we're not shilling for HBO either.
Yeah,
it's all about Drafthouse.
But if HBO likes to send us some stuff, a little Game of Thrones box set would look nice. Yeah, I know we don't do TV shows, but I'll take that.
Yeah, sorry.
But anyway,
I'm not going to watch this.
But anyway, yeah, so there is some coarse language, Quentin Tarantino style coarse language, You fucking mongrel fucking whore, So, be prepared for some coarse language that will be like...
I mean, the film is unrated, so, I mean, it doesn't really have an actual rating for it, so, I mean, just, be cautious if you want.
You would think they would do the Victorian style, foul language, like, sir, you are a sinful globe. You are a vile globe of sinful continents.
I see.
Yes.
But I mean, that's what...
You are the son and heir of a mongrel whore. That's basically saying you're a son of a bitch.
I can tell.
Back in the day.
But you know what?
You're a fat ass. That's basically what he's saying.
Oh, thank
Those
you.
are now what we do, but that's how Shakespeare would have it.
But the thing is with this film, I mean, that's what made it different for me, at least. I mean, I thought it was shot beautifully. The editing of it was really great. It did remind me of, like, when it came down to the trippy parts of the movie, and actually, there's actually a warning sign at the beginning of the movie.
The strobe effects.
Yeah, for the strobe effects and all the psychedelic stuff. And I thought it was just edited really well, especially that big montage of...
Yeah, that's why, at the end of the day, my only problem, really, it's the story. I mean, in my opinion, the story's a little weird, but... The story is obviously, I mean, that's Drafthouse Films. Drafthouse Films puts out, you know, like, movies that no other, like, company would probably, like... Like, it's filmed nice, you know.
That's what Drafthouse Films is so awesome.
Everything is good, except, like, I think the story at the end is very confusing to me. It's one of those things, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it.
Oh, yeah. And I enjoyed it. You know what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what it was. I did enjoy the, like I said, the way it looked. It did remind me of, like, a 60s experimental movie.
Right.
Because you know how they all were over there. And I thought just the trippy scenes were just really... I thought they were beautifully shot. And it was just beautifully well crafted. And yeah, I mean, the script, I do like the contemporary script. They didn't go full on, like, Shakespearean dialogue type thing. Yeah.
Hey, like I said, I love Deadwood, and I love that they, you know, like that, they didn't use traditional, like, they use actual modern language, just like they did it also in Spartacus. Blood and Bone, you know? And I love their use of the language, you know? They were like, by Jupiter's cock that's been rubbed into thy ass!
I've said that recently.
Yeah, see? It makes sense. I actually like when they sprouse up language like that. It makes it interesting.
The only problem I had was there was a couple of little cock shots that were somewhat unnecessary, but I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, we see boobs and vaginas all day long, so a cock shot, like, once in a while is a good balance.
Maybe also what I didn't like was I expected a little bit more mysticism. Because, you know, when I read the synopsis, I was like, oh, alchemy and alchemist, and I was like, I was actually expecting a little bit more, you know, fantasy in there, more actual, like, wizardry fantasy, not just...
I also like, it looks low budget. I like that it's a very small, like a 6-person cast. I really actually like that. You can actually turn A Field in England into a play if you really go down to it. I
think it's like, I was expecting more like elves and stuff, fantasy.
You had a lot of fucking expectations.
And I got Twilight Zone fantasy, where it's like...
And that's why I liked it. Like, it's very Twilight Zone-y, and like an R-rated Twilight Zone short.
Yeah.
And that's...
Maybe if I was prepared for that, you know, I had expectations.
You should really read...
It didn't meet my expectations.
You should really read the fucking synopsis. You really should.
I don't want to. I wanted to experience the movie.
You should watch the trailer. I
did watch the trailer, and it was like, Alchemist!
Like,
oh, this is going to be interesting!
I did my research on this movie.
And I did the research by watching the film!
Like, oh my god!
See, I didn't want to be spoiled before I watched the film.
I mean, I wasn't spoiled either, but I want to know, like, what's the main purpose of the movie.
Yeah, I waited until after I see the film to get that.
I mean, like I said, I mean, mainly the writer, Amy Jump, and the director, Ben Wheatley, did a fantastic job with, you know, like I said, crafting a small, somewhat low-budget, you know, movie. And I might be a fan of them now, because I want to check out their previous movies like Kill List and Sightseers. But what's it called? The person I like to point at, give a shout out to is Michael Smiley, who plays the villain. The anonymous in the movie. And I knew him from Spaced. Remember Spaced?
I never seen Spaced. You're like, this recording's over.
Yeah, this recording's fucking over.
Sorry.
No,
I haven't seen that many previous shows, like, not to your standard of the BBC.
After this, watch fucking Spaced. He's one of my favorite characters on that show.
Well, have you seen Blackadder?
I have not seen Blackadder.
Oh! Score one for this guy.
Whatever. Spaced. Anyways.
Blackadder.
But anyways, Anyway, so Michael Smiley, he was a bicycle messenger.
I was like a rapist.
No, he was a bike messenger, kind of like a rave. He was a rave guy,
A raver.
A raver. Thank you. But you know what? Go check out Space. But anyways, Field in England. I think that's basically it on my review. So what would you give it? Probably really.
What was it? Out of 5?
Out of 5.
Out of 3.
Well, it's not too
Not
bad.
bad.
It's really not. It's,
Like I said, the only thing I had wrong with it was like I thought the ending was a little confusing. Like the story was a little, it goes off the rails.
mm-hmm.
The acting was good. The dialogue was good. You know, the cinematography was good. Like the only thing I have wrong with is, like I said, the plot. The plot was disappointing, so that's why I give it a 3 out of 5.
I would definitely, without it, I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5.
You know, I don't regret watching this. It's not like one of those movies like, oh my god, this movie was good. No. Like, I was like, it's an interesting film.
Alright, man. Well, anyways, I guess that's it for this week's episode of Flick Geeks Presents. So he gave it a 3 out of 5. I gave it 4.5 out of 5. So that'll do it. So next time we're gonna be reviewing Drafthouse Films' Cheap Thrills, which comes out in March. So we're along down the line, we'll review it before then. By the way, if you you hear this music that's playing in the background? Yeah, I know, right? That is the, you can actually get this song at drafthousefilms.com. But again, you have to click on Field in England, and then it'll, there's like a little box saying, get a free track from the soundtrack. So you can do that, and if you like this music, and everything that you've seen in this movie, go watch A Field in England, which again comes out today, February 7th, on video on demand, digital platforms, and in selected theaters all across the USA. So subscribe to us on right here on youtube.com/flickgeeks. Go to facebook.com/flickgeeks, flickgeeks.tumblr.com, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at flickgeeks. So until then, Johnny D calls Barajas. Trip balls.